Hey everyone, it's Holly. Today's video, you know what? Let's do it. We are finally going to talk about the mystery of the map. And I am entitling today's video, The Mystery of the Map. So, a little backstory here. If you have been watching my videos for a while, one of the first few videos I did was a tour of the 1994 Magical Mansion, the Polyville Light Up Magical Mansion. It's one of my all-time favorite sets. It's one that I had as a kid. And I had purchased one that was in box, not sealed, not brand new or anything, but had the original box. And because I had more than one of the playmats that set came with, it came with a vinyl playmat that looked like a map. I figured since I've got one that's already out, I'll just leave the one that's in the box nicely tucked in and I'll show the other one on my video. Makes sense. But what happened was I pulled it out and it was a map that I have never seen before. I have a few theories about where this came from based on some information and talking to other people in the Polly Pocket world. But today I'm going to be sharing my theories with you and just a little bit of more history about this whole mystery that has been unraveling. So without further ado, let's get into the mystery of the map. All right, so I ask for your patience with this video because the lighting's not going to be perfect. I wasn't about to drag all of my lights up here, but this is the room that I keep all of my Polly stuff in. And you'll notice that this shelf here is empty, or mostly empty, I should say. That's the shelf that I keep most of my Polyville stuff on. So as part of this map mystery, I have pulled them all out. As you can see, the other shelves are well stocked, but that's what's going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the map, and then I'm going to show you the Polyville sets that I have, and then we're going to try moving them around. So let's do that. Okay, so here is the map. So this map is like a vinyl plastic, so it's flexible. You can roll it up. You can see it's been folded, and when I got it, it was that way, so I've just kind of left it because it's got some creases in it already. And it's a bit different than the typical Polyville sort of map playmat. So it does say Polly Pocket Polyville down here, and there are all these different squares on it for where you would put your different sets. Look how cute this is. Like, I just love this. Now down here, it says copyright 1996. So that's a late date. That's something to keep in mind. 1996 is after the mansion, right? The mansion that came with the other playmat was 1994. So this was way after that. So it's not like it came with that set. So who knows what that is about, but that's the date. So that's important to note. So just to kind of come out for a moment there, it has all these different spaces. So to me, I'm looking at this thinking there's got to be certain things that go there because that's clearly the supermarket. And that's very obviously the hospital. And in a moment when I put the hospital there, you will not disagree with me, but that's what we're dealing with. So this is the map that's in question. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the other map so you can see it just to understand what's different about it. Okay, so to just give you a little bit more backstory, when I was a kid, I had this playset, the Magical Mansion playset, and it was like the best present I ever got. I loved this so much because it lights up, it's so big, it's like definitely of the Polyville collection, it is sort of the one that all the kids wanted. Whether or not that's true now, because there's a lot more of these than there are other Polyville sets, I mean, this one is just kind of a fan favorite. So this set came with not just this amazing toy, but it also came with a playmat. And you can see that it's advertised here. And that mat does not have any, you know, squares on it. It's just a road. Now, I had this as a kid again, so this was one of my favorite toys. But the thing that really irritated me was I was so excited to get this mat that came with it, and like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the roads are all curved. And none of the Polyville sets, well, I mean, I shouldn't say none, there are some, but most of them have like a flat sidewalk. So for me, just being a particular type of person, when there's like these big curves, it makes it really difficult to actually line up your houses on it. And I found that really irritating because I just wanted something that was a little bit more quadratic, I guess, for lack of a better term. So because the streets were so curved, I found it kind of annoying and I didn't play with it. And instead I just lined up all my sets along the perimeter of my bedroom. But nonetheless, that is what the map looks like. So the one that I thought I had a duplicate of, but did not, same or similar, I should say, logo. Actually, no, the logo is the same. The color is the same. It just, the one on the other mat has a weight outline and this one does not. This mat does not have any copyright information on it. However, because it came in this box, and we can find this on here, but this was 1994, so I'm sure it'll say somewhere. But this box, this particular place, that was 1994. So for that reason, sorry, just like winging my camera around. For that reason, because this particular toy was made in 1994, we can just assume that the mat therefore is from 1994 or earlier. So something that you wouldn't just put necessarily a 1996 date on. So the only thing that I will say about this date is there are some poly sets, like early ones, let's say like 1990, where if you look at the bottom of the poly figure, like you turn it so that you look at her feet, it might actually say a year later or 2 years later than the set date itself. If I'm being clear, I'm going to show a clip of this in a moment, but effectively sometimes the poly does not match the set, even though the poly came with the set, if that makes sense. I'll give you an example. Hold on. Okay, so bear with me because I think this is going to be really hard to capture on camera, but you can fact check me on onlypolypocket.com. This is the 1990 Fifi's Parisian apartment. And this is the 1990 Water Fun Park, so both 1990. The doll that comes with Fifi's apartment, so Fifi, everything's out of focus. But yeah, it's gonna be impossible to show you this on camera. Her feet, the year that's stamped into the bottom of her feet is 1991. But this is 1990, so like this doll, this was actually released in 1990 as well. So this is just from the future. And this one, which is really interesting, is 1990, but the dolls that come with this one are 1993. 1993, that's a big difference. That's 3 years difference. So when we're looking at a map that says 1996, do we trust that it's from 1996? That's the point that I'm trying to get across here. So needless to say, this is not the mat that we were looking for. So how did I get the other mat, you ask? Okay, so story time. My husband and I were going poly hunting. We were going to thrift stores and we came across an antique mall that we hadn't been in years. And I said, you know what, we should go check that out. I know polys aren't really like antiques by any means yet, but they're getting there. And he said, yeah, let's go check it out. And we went in and there was a seller who had a few Polly Pocket items. I bought a few of them. One of them was a bracelet that I have not shown on my channel yet, and this mat. There was actually a few more items there that I didn't pick up because I already had them, but I know Treasure Hunt Toys did go get them, so that was awesome. And yeah, so I picked up this playmat, and the reason I picked it up was because my way of getting new poly sets is to buy them in larger lots if I can, and then, you know, over time, eventually, you know, hopefully put some pieces together. You're not getting things complete all the time. So I figured, what's the harm in having an extra playmat if it's not that expensive? And that way, if I end up with a duplicate mansion, which I do have, that I would have a mat to go with it, right? So that was my thought process. So I didn't even really look at it. I just noticed it was made out of the same material as the one that I had as a kid. I noticed that the colors looked about right. And so I just thought, whatever, it's cheap, I'm gonna get it. And I honestly did not look at it, actually fold it out and look at it until I did the video for the Magical Mansion. And that's where this all kind of spiraled. Had I not done that video, or had I used the mat that was in the box with the Magical Mansion, I probably still wouldn't know that I had that, because I haven't sold any of my extra sets yet. Mostly because I'm not sure if now is the right time, or if I want to, or how to do that best. I have some thoughts on it, but regardless, because I haven't done that, I had no reason to go look, and I'm lucky that I found it, I guess, because I don't know when I would have figured this out otherwise. Anyway, that's the backstory. Let's get back to the mystery. Okay, so back to this. Again, I was pretty sure that these were particular spots. Now, the reason that I feel that way is because of obvious reasons like the hospital and the supermarket. But if I take, oh, sorry, here are the Polyville sets that we're working with today. I am missing a few, obviously, but I also have a few in transit, so that might help, but I wanted to do the video now, so here we are. So if I take the hospital, for example, like, just look at this, like, it lines up perfectly in that space. And even that lines up. So if you get that all lined up, it's like you walk out into the parking lot. So it's suspicious, right? So you look at that and you think, okay, it looks like they've considered this. Even if you look at, like, let's say that the sidewalk stops here, the depth of the sidewalk is equal all the way around, like that width. Sorry, this might be my designer brain, but that, it's consistent. So like that looks suspicious to me. That looks like that's supposed to be there. So the problem is, again, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm probably at this point pretty frustrated. I'm having a really hard time getting a supermarket that's complete. And I want to buy it complete because it's really hard to find the pieces by themselves. But we can obviously see that the supermarket goes here and the hospital goes there. So then what goes in the other spaces? There are a few other spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm presuming 9. Now, if we look at our light up set, so my first thought was maybe these are like a promotional mat for the light up set. So you can see the hospital is a light up set. The pizza parlor is a light up set. The bridal salon is a light up set. The school, the church, and then there is the supermarket. Now, technically the mansion also lights up, but there's no space here that's even close to fit the mansion. So I'm removing that one from the equation. And I believe that's it. There is another light up horse saloon, but it's part of a different series. It's technically Polyville, but it's this other sort of animal series. So I'm not counting that one either because it seems like it would be totally out of place. So if we think about that, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 light up sets, plus the mansion is 7. I feel like I'm still missing one. This is a lot of brain power. Anyway, if we count the spots again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's no way you're gonna get there with just the light up sets. So I was thinking about this today and I thought, okay, maybe it's not all light up. So there are some spaces that seem maybe logical to me. This one I thought maybe would be the pizza parlor. I have kind of changed my mind on that. We'll talk about that in a second. There is some play equipment here, and that could just be a playground. It could also be a school theme. Ice cream cart here. Could this maybe be for the ice cream parlor? I don't know. That's not even a light up set, right? And then this hopscotch, that also makes me think school. So just a few things that for me are kind of suspicious because the pizza place isn't the only restaurant. There's also the Beach Cafe, which I do not have, but is in transit, so I will report back. But there's other things. So it's not just, the light up ones. It's gotta be more. So today I start playing with this because this drives me nuts. And I picked up this set, Cozy Cottage, and I noticed if you hover it over this, look at that match for size, and it just fits. Okay. So does that not lead you to believe that that belongs there? And then I started thinking maybe I'm just overthinking things. Maybe other things are also that size. And oh, so is that one. Does that make more sense there? I don't know. Are there just a few that are exactly the same size? So here's where I start going crazy because I start lining these things up, trying to determine what goes where. Now, you can move these around to all sorts of different places, but this is the beach house or the summer house. And I mean, I don't think that makes sense, having tables outside of it, but this might, or that might, it seems like it could fit there. The burger restaurant, I don't know if this is just me being particular, but I feel like there would be a spot for a drive-through if they were to do that. See, I overthink everything is basically what I'm trying to say, but even if that in theory kind of fits there, I don't think they would do that. So this is starting to drive me nuts. So I'm going to lay this out the way that I feel a bit more confident with it, and then I'm going to show it to you. All right, if you are in this as deep as I am and you understand everything I'm saying, then you probably thought I was insane because I forgot 2 of the sets. I forgot the light up bay window and I forgot the light up hotel. They were right behind me. And I think this is just like the definition of having too many Polly Pockets. So that's my fault. So see, I knew I was forgetting some light up sets and that's where they were. So that being said, here's what I have come up with, and I will give you reasonings for my thoughts. Hospitals, hospital, supermarkets, supermarkets. We're going to ignore that. Now, the toy store fits really well here. It is like a perfect fit all the way around in there, and that is my best guess for this spot. However, that is also a perfect fit. Both kind of make sense. However, this one has a mailbox already and this one has mailboxes outside. So therefore, that was my choice. But it could be this, Cozy Cottage. Now, Cozy Cottage could go here, but you'll see it is not a perfect fit. So I've put that one off to the side. Now, the spot on the corner, this is one where I kind of thought school for a bit, and now I'm not sure what to think. I am thinking church at the moment, or wedding chapel, I should say. But just based on where it is, that seems like something that would maybe be placed on a corner. And here I am, like pretending I'm a city designer, but I am not qualified to plan a city by any means. If you look at this and I line it up, it's pretty close. And it is also pretty close on the other side. So I don't know, what do you think? Does that fit there? The other one that could fit there size-wise, and again, so here's my thing. Like, you might be thinking, Holly, maybe they don't mean anything, but then why make them different shapes? Like, why make them different sizes? Why make one for the hospital and the supermarket? You know, I think there is a reason. So anyway, this one seems to be a nearly perfect fit. However, it does overshoot the corner a bit. And for that reason, I think that this is the one that goes there. Okay, so that makes two of them. So now we have here, 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 here. I don't know what would logically go here. It could be something like the hotel, but that kind of overshoots. I guess in theory it could be the bay window house. That one sort of fits. It does cover some of the greenery, but what fits really well is, let's see, you can still see the greenery, the bridal salon. So maybe that goes there. Then I was thinking, how would these two play into it? So the bay window house, I put here because that one's a residential home. And I thought if you line up the sidewalk with the sidewalk, which I know is not consistent with how I'm lining up all the other things, but this one doesn't have like a defined square per se, then it just looks like they've got play equipment in their backyard. And that could be valid. That could be people's homes. So maybe. And then if that's the case, there's a nice gate here. There's a gate on the Light Up Hotel. So what if we were to line that up with the sidewalk? It also fits really well. And what do you think? Okay. I don't know. What do you think? So that brings me over to these spots over here. This one, I feel like it naturally should be this. However, it's on a corner, and yes, this is its own little island, but like if I try lining this up this way, why would you eat behind the restaurant? That doesn't seem to make sense if they were to design it for this. If I line it up this way, it doesn't properly fit. And it seems, even if I try to get the sidewalk lined up there, it doesn't seem to fit right. So that's why I'm suspecting the beach cafe, which I do have in the mail. So when that shows up, I can test it. So I don't know about that one. What oddly does fit really well is Grandma's Cottage. Like perfectly in the lines. So tell me what that is about, right? Like that fits perfectly. That makes no sense though. So that's why I'm thinking it might be the beach cafe, because yeah, there are some sets like Cozy Cottage in the toy shop that are the same size. Who knows? I'm going with this one for here. And the reason I'm going with this one is one, it's by the water, not necessarily a beach, but there is water here. It's a vacation home. This looks like a place that you would put a vacation home. There's already a floaty or a tire there, and there's one in the pool. It matches the grass, and It just seems kind of logical. It does fit the space really nicely. You can see the tree ends there. So, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling that one. And so that kind of brings us to, yeah, again, I don't think that's that spot there. Now, Cozy Cottage doesn't really fit here. I tried, but it kind of overshoots. And if you look at it from this side, you can see it's quite a bit longer. The pet store is too wide, so that's not it. And even if you try turning it sideways, maybe, but it's still a little bit longer. Maybe, but it would seem weird to have that one face sideways when you've got the rest of the street out, right? And then I thought maybe, but would you drive on the sidewalk? I don't think so. So these are my mysteries. Now, I am missing quite a few poly sets. And again, coming back to me hanging on the state earlier, 1996 was like the end of Polyville. That's when the last of the Polyville stuff came out. So there's other things. There could be an ice cream parlor. There's a dance studio. There's a daycare. Could this be the spot for the daycare? Right? Like the nursery. So what do you think? What I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, put this picture of the map in the comments because I would like your help brainstorming. I don't have all the Polyville sets. I'm trying my best to get them. I just don't want to overpay for some of this stuff. So trying to be patient. I am heartbroken that I do not have a supermarket yet. It just kills me. There was one that was for sale that I lost, and I'm just so sad because I really went for it, but it didn't work. But also, don't you find it kind of weird that the school and the pizza parlor wouldn't be involved? Because the school doesn't really line up anywhere, you know? Like, best place I could get it would be here, maybe, but it doesn't really fit. And then it covers all the trees and stuff, so it doesn't seem right. And then here, again, it doesn't line up. So, I don't know, like this is what kind of drives me nuts about this. The bowling alley is just so weird. Like it has such a thick sidewalk and it does not really fit anywhere because it doesn't have the squared off corners. So I'm just counting that one out altogether. But that's the situation. This is what we're gonna go with. So tell me your thoughts on what I have. If there's something you change out, let me know. I don't know. I just don't know. So for a moment, just to speak to some of the theory around this, I asked in some groups, I asked on my Instagram, I kind of, you know, spread the word around. I asked Barbara, who runs onlypolypocket.com, and kind of the best theory that we came up with from all the answers, I believe this was from someone on Instagram. Sorry, I have a really bad memory, so if it was you, thank you. That because I am in Canada, one of our largest department stores is Hudson's Bay Company, also known as the Bay. And our theory, based on this person's recollection, was she really wanted this playmat, this specific one, when she was a kid, and she saw it as a mail-in offer. So where you'd collect the UPC, the barcodes, off the back of the boxes, cut them out, and then mail them into Mattel or whoever's doing this, like it could have been the Bay. But it was a special offer, and she said she recalled it being for the light up sets, and that's where that original theory of the light up sets came from. But again, memories, we sometimes remember things wrong, or we don't remember all the details. And while there are a lot of light up sets on this map, I believe that maybe it wasn't all light up. So I don't know. But that's the theory that we're going with, that it was probably a mail away promotion. It was probably at the Bay. And again, it could have involved quite a few light up sets because we know supermarket and hospital are. So if they had like a neat promo photo with some of the sets lit up, I could see why someone would interpret that as the light up sets. So that's the best thing that we have right now, that it was a promo mail away offer, and specifically in Canada. So if you go on eBay or you Google search like Polly Pocket playmat or map, all you find is basically the other one. I have had some people message me photos of other play maps that are out there. Specifically, I believe one was in France and it was made out of cloth. So there's lots of different things out there, but again, they're mail away items. They're unique to that specific country. And if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I have that, please talk to me. Please come talk to me over on Instagram, Pocket Vintage Toys, because I just need to solve this. It's driving me nuts. And it's like the silliest thing, but I just have to get to the bottom of it. So again, I would love to know your thoughts on this one. And I'll do whatever I can to supply you with the information you need to help me solve this. So let's wrap this up. Okay, so I still don't have answers. I mean, that's really what this boils down to, right? So I would like to know if you can click that link in the description, you'll get the photo. And I've numbered off all the squares or rectangles or whatever they are. If you think you might know what fits there, let me know. I can always try something. Again, as I said, I do have some more Polyville sets that are in the mail to me that might fit some of those spaces. I really did think that it was just going to be for light up sets, but just the way some of those things fits, I don't know. There are some that are so obvious, right? The supermarket, the hospital, that's so obvious, but the other ones, open for interpretation. And is that on purpose or not? Because if they fit really well, it seems like it was made for it. I don't know. I do believe that those spots were designed for a certain set to go on top of it. But unfortunately, if we don't have the marketing materials, I don't know how else we're going to find out other than trial and error. So click on that link, get a copy of the picture. I've numbered them all off. And then what I would like you to do is, if you have a time and you're interested and invested in this mystery, of course, put in the comments what you think each sort of section of the map belongs to. I can always try it out and see if it gets a good fit. At this point, it's feeling like a puzzle that's probably going to drive me insane. However, I'm not going to give up on it because it's pretty interesting, and because no one else that I know of has it, it's pretty cool. So I'm excited that it's in my collection. I do like a good mystery. So at the end of the day, can I be upset about it? Not really. Anyway, if you hadn't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Stay tuned for more of this mystery as it unravels. But we come out with videos every Monday and Thursday. And so if you want to get a heads up about what video we are going to be posting next, the best place to do that is on my Instagram at Pocket Vintage Toys. That's where I tell you what's coming out next. That's where, if I get new stuff in my collection, I like to share it, give you a sneak peek. It's the best place to connect with me. So if you want to chat, that's the best place to do it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.